evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Andrew.
What are you laughing at?
Ew.
Why?
Why don't you just say good evening normally?
I've gone beyond normal. I've evolved beyond that.
Right.
Right. Tonight we pulled the handle on the random number generator, didn't we?
Or pressed a button.
Or pressed some buttons, and it came up with 3/8, didn't it?
Yes.
Which means, because we were doing Blake 7,
Yes.
It
You
meant-
need to explain that, really.
it meant Series C, Episode 8, Rumours of Death by Chris Boucher, shown on the 25th of February 1980, directed by Fiona Cumming. So we made loads of notes in my notebook. Isn't that a pretty notebook, Lisa?
It's a very pretty notebook.
Would you like a notebook like that,
I would
Lisa?
like a notebook like that.
Oh, that's nice, because it's a seashells notebook,
Yes.
and it's available from our Redbubble shop, Lisa and Andrew, isn't it? And I've used it to make the notes for today.
You have.
And there it is, isn't it pretty? See, it's more pretty than me, so I'm going to hold it up in... No, right. Okay, right, what do we got? So, as we said, this is episode 8, following on from, well, let's check in our book. Maximum Power, which is the Blake Severin reference guide
From Milk.
from Milk. So
And it's out of print.
it follows on from episode 39, Strike Attack, by David Agnew, directed by Douglas Camfield.
Or, in the real world, it follows on from Children of Aaron, written by Roger Parks and directed by Andrew Morgan.
Oh, you telling me Strike Attack's made up then?
Yes,
Oh, and I fell for it.
you did.
No. Maximum Power by Milk. Lots of very useful Blake 7 facts
And
a few,
some not helpful
and some made up ones as
Yes.
well.
And they don't like tarot.
And they don't like terror. We'll get on to that later,
Yeah.
won't we?
So.
But what's this episode about then, Lisa?
This episode is about, well, mostly it's about Avon. And it's Avon's quest.
It's a character-y
It's
one.
a character one, yes. If you remember back to season 2 or series 2
B.
or series B, whatever you want to call it, episode Countdown,
Yeah.
there's a character in that called Del Grant,
Yes.
played by Tom Chadbourne.
Is Del short for Derek?
Del's just for Del.
Del.
And
Delamitri.
yes, he doesn't like Avon because Avon got his sister killed,
No.
Anna Grant.
Right.
So in this episode, and Anna Grant was Avon's lover. So in this episode, he
Way. Bit of the old.
finished now.
No.
Avon decides to track down the person that tortured her to death, who
Yes.
believes is a Federation interrogator called Shrinker.
Yeah. That's a weird name.
Yes,
for...
it is a bit of a weird name. And find out why, how he killed her.
Yeah, the story behind
The
it.
story behind it. Yes.
Yeah, from the off, I have to say Shrinker is a very weirdly chosen name.
Yeah.
Because it does sound like he's some sort of borrower or something, like he lives in the skirting board, like he's really, really small. Or he's got the ability to reduce himself. But he's sort of not, is he?
No. It's not that. I think the idea, because I know you read in the book that they should have cast a different actor.
The book says Shrinker is not that intimidating, is he?
But maybe that's the point, that he shouldn't be intimidating because he doesn't get the answers he wants through the fact that he's intimidating. He gets the answers he wants through torturing people.
Because he doesn't have the presence of any of the incarnations of Travis, for instance,
No.
does he?
No.
Not really.
No.
He's just sort of a middle-aged sort of fat bloke.
In essence, he's a sort of civil servant.
Yeah.
Really. That's not a very nice civil servant who does nasty things to people.
No.
But he's just a cog in the Federation.
He's a what?
A cog.
Cogger.
Cog.
Right, okay.
Not a cock. That's what
Say
you're
it again.
thinking.
Say it again.
Cog.
I made her say cog. Okay.
Federation system. So
Right.
anyway, so Avon allows himself to be captured. And he won't tell them his name. So
Well, that's
eventually...
the thing. We open in a grimy cell, don't we?
Yes.
With poor Dara in what looked like his pyjamas
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And the slidey door slides up in a sort of
Slightly wobbly
fashion.
BBC fashion.
And in comes Shrinker. And Avon's got stubble, hasn't he?
He has.
Or poor
Darrow's
Darrow's got a
got
stubble.
stubble,
It looks real, actually.
It probably is.
Yeah. So he's been there for what, 5 days?
5
or
days,
something?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's held out so that he wouldn't tell anybody's name, so they have to get shrinker in.
They've got a thing in his neck as well, haven't they?
An implant.
An implant.
They haven't got a thing, he's got a thing.
Well, they've put a thing in his neck.
Yeah.
What's the thing do?
It's bleeping,
It's bleeping.
to let them know where he is.
Okay.
But they said that Shrinker says they've been monitoring it
Okay.
since he's been in, and everyone says they weren't supposed to come when it was on. They were supposed to come when it was
went
off.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And then Tarrant appears.
Tarrant and Dana.
Tarrant and Dana appear. Dana is in red
Yes.
thing, and Tarrant's in this sort of studded thing. isn't he?
Medievalist.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah, he's got like a red turtleneck kind of thing,
Yeah.
and a red thing over top of it that's all studded.
Dana chucks a sort of bomb out the
She
door,
does, to
doesn't
slow
she?
the guards
and this sort
down.
of puff of smoke
Yes,
goes
and,
off.
and they teleport away, including Shrinker.
Yes, and then Avon gets a glass of green,
Gets a
doesn't
glass
he?
of green.
Yes.
We were going to have a glass of green, but we haven't got any green.
Well, if we do Blake 7 again, we should get some food colouring.
We got red.
Yeah,
We haven't got any green.
yeah. I noticed that half the teleport bracelets are missing, but that always seems to be the case
Yeah,
in
because they
Blake
get
7,
broken,
doesn't it?
don't
Yeah.
they? So I wonder if they've got any left.
Now, we then cut to the pretty location, and I meant to look this up, so I will have a look.
Okay.
It's just a sort of nice, sort of, not quite a stately home, is it?
It's an old house. Yeah, it's the newest estate home you're going to get in Blake 7.
Okay.
But it looks a bit odd, and the point is made that the amount it's cost to remake this building could have built 3 cities.
Well, that's the thing, that it's not a survival from the olden days.
No,
it's
been rebuilt as Servaland's headquarters.
Yes.
The president's palace
Okay.
in a field in Surrey. Or
Yeah,
something.
right.
So,
Well, that's not very helpful. It says, Rumours of Death, Residence 1, somewhere in Oxfordshire,
oh, that's helpful.
So
Well, it's in Oxfordshire.
apparently. So I'm sure we can do better than that.
We should have looked on the location, Blake 7 location.
I was going to say,
page on
the Facebook page
Facebook
might be a
page,
bit more helpful in this one.
But anyway, as we get to this house, a couple are walking in the gardens,
All right, yes.
and the couple, well, the female woman is Anna Grant,
Yes.
which you recognise her because you get some flashbacks from Avon has flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean, this is weird because later on, it's a surprise to Avon, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's not a surprise to anybody watching at home.
Well, no, that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a surprise to people watching at home because she's been in it since almost the start.
But it's just a weird sort of way of structuring it. I don't know how else you do it, because
Well,
obviously
you can't do it any other way, no.
But
It's got
anyway.
to be a surprise to Avon because he thinks she's dead.
But yeah, they
And
got
she's
some nice. They got some nice cloaks though,
Yes,
haven't they?
and she's called Sula,
Yes, yeah.
and her husband is a
Right, carry on. Husband is what?
her husband's a friend or a counsellor to Servaland.
Aye.
He's called Chescu.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, excuse me. I'm all bugged up now. It's all right. But then we get a scene with in the sort of guard command area,
yes,
isn't
in
it?
the sort of surveillance room.
Yes.
And there's 2 officers in the surveillance room.
There's Donald Douglas and David Haig.
Yes.
Emily, and David Haig's got wonderful big hair, hasn't he?
He has. Is this before Leisure Hive or after? I
Well,
think it's probably
this is shown February 1980.
So it's probably shot in 1979.
So it's before. Yes, it's before Leisure Hive. It's not much before,
No.
but
He has got an awful lot of hair in this, David Haig.
it took me a while to recognise him.
He
that's the
did. You
thing.
said, who's that young one?
Who's that young boy there?
That's David Haig.
Oh, right, okay. But Avon teleports down to a cave, doesn't he, with Shrinker?
With Shrinker. And there's a picture of Anna Grant on the wall. Now, is it actually on the wall or is it sort of a hologram on the
Well,
wall?
you see,
Is it
to
a
me,
painting?
if you notice that Avon set up I don't know where this cave is meant to be, but Avon set up a load of lights and things, because he presses a button.
Villa set up a lot of lights.
Or was it Villa?
Because he says to Villa, is it ready? And he says, yes, I've set it up myself.
But it does seem to be that this picture has been hand painted. So I'm imagining Avon going down with like his palette and his easel. And I mean, maybe it was like painting by numbers. Maybe Zen or Aurak sort of managed to do a sort, and there's Avon sitting there with his blue and going 3, blue, 2, yellow. for like weeks on
There's
end.
no way it'd be that neat, is there? It would just be no.
Could you do colouring?
I do colouring, and I always go over the lines. I'd be terrible.
So Avon's been taking lessons. Maybe he's been watching old episodes of Paint Along with Nancy or something like that.
Maybe.
We should do that one day.
Oh, God.
Okay. But yeah, Avon's been doing his painting, and the whole point about Avon is that, yes, he's got a history of being a rebel with Blake, but before that he was computer fraud, wasn't he?
Fraudster, yes.
Banking fraud.
Yes, and he was trying to pull off
I beg your pardon?
Pull off a fraud.
Okay.
And defraud the Federation Bank.
But it's here that we hear the name Bartholomew, don't
Bartholomew.
we? Not Bartholomew.
No, Bartholomew.
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 Bartholomew. Who is Bartholomew?
It's not quite so silly.
Who is Bartholomew, Lisa?
I don't know. I do know, actually.
Tell me about Bartholomew.
Bartholomew
Demson?
is the Federation's top agent.
Yes.
And he or she gets close. They get close to whoever the Federation thinks is the most threat.
Okay.
And in this case, it was Avon, because although he was doing fraud, they thought he might be political.
But sort of, you get a few flashbacks and things, don't you? Of Anna Grant in a
in the Altogether.
Well, she's not. Well, all you see is shoulders. Isn't
but the implication is
it's that TV thing, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got the sheet tucked around her.
Yeah, the ladies
chest.
always have the sheets up to here, don't they? And you just see a bit of shoulder, and that's about it. Sometimes people say that beds in TV are really weirdly. The sheets are really weirdly designed.
Yeah, because they're high and then low.
Yeah, for the gentlemen they're always low, and you always get to see a bit, and for the ladies they're always right up to here.
Yes, almost.
You want to see our sheets, especially when Martha's been like rigging them up.
Yeah.
All over the place. Right, I've put ridiculous aerial.
Oh yeah,
because they've got to jam the cameras.
The cameras, yeah,
the sort of rebels.
What we should say is, before this has happened and before they cut back to Avon, Sula's husband has been shot.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
By some Federation guards, or not Federation guards.
Yeah. Okay.
And you think, oh, what's going on here? Is she actually on the rebel side?
Oh, we should also say that Shrinker is left in the cave.
And Shrinker's left in the cave
with the gun.
Avon says he'll give him a way out, the way out, and the way out is to kill himself.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I love the way that our heroes are shown to be like really nasty sods in this.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's the thing. His whole point about Avon being the sort of anti-hero, isn't it? And Paul Darrow was quite keen, I think, that with Blake sort of out of the picture in Series 3, he wasn't going to be seen as the Blake replacement, was he?
And he's certainly not that.
So they got this. One of these sort of rebel forces or whatever has got this ridiculous backpack with this aerial that's about 4 foot long, isn't it?
It's almost as big as he is.
And he's running along and it's wagging up and down.
He's not even running, he crawls. He's crawling along the ground, and I'm going, I hope that ground's not got any
dog doings
dirt on it. Yeah. He crawls straight through it.
But yeah, they're going to jam the camera.
So they send a patrol out.
Well, I just put nice fireplace because you keep cutting back to sort of the control room, don't you?
Which is in the house, so it looks.
Yeah, this is on video, but the innards of the other innards of the house are on film, and we'll talk about.
I'm not sure why.
Because you get the dining room, don't you?
Yes.
The dining room, which has been great big long table.
Yeah. Somebody's had to lay it
Somebody's
all
got
out.
all the crockery out.
Yeah, and laid it all out. Just for a 30-second shot.
Napkins and like flower arrangements
and everything.
Everything.
Everything. Unless...
And all that happens is Jackie Pearce walks through it and looks at it.
Unless they filmed that somewhere where that was laid out for something else.
I do wonder whether they did it sort of a bit on the quick.
Yeah.
And there's a house and we can film in that room.
As long as we're quick.
And it'll be like that anyway, I don't know.
I can't imagine they set that up for that tiny
It seems
shot
to be an awful lot of detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get the I put a budget for the crockery and the flowers. But yeah, the dining room and the sort of hallway are on film, and then Jackie Pierce walks through it into her office, and suddenly it's on video. And normally this thing doesn't really jar with me very much. You know, filming is on location, and video stuff in the studio. But because she's just walked through a door, it doesn't quite. It does a bit jar a bit for me, I'm afraid, because there's a fight now with the guards on location.
Yeah,
and they're a bit weedy, the guards, aren't they? For what are supposedly sort of crack Federation troopers.
Yeah,
they're quite easily duffed up.
Crack Federation troops that come from the same school as all the Imperial troops in Star Wars that can never shoot straight.
The security system is really dreadful though, because was it somebody dresses up in a guard costume?
Yeah, and he's got his helmet on.
Yeah,
so
and reports that the cameras went down because somebody was trying to build a nest in them.
An animal of some kind.
Yeah,
didn't see what it was.
But they don't even ask who he is.
No, they don't ask his name, his number, or what rank he is.
Just because he's a bloke with a helmet on.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, he must be all right. I love the way that when Aurak is asked for some sort of planning information,
he's really texting.
What is it now? He's like really peed off.
He was watching computer porn or something.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Or playing computer chess.
Okay. Well, whatever. Back in the control room, the video screens that they're monitoring everything on are actually displaying film. Because there's a few blibs and blobs on the monitor screen, and that did sort of annoy me. Servalan is going to be replaced by a People's Council. That's the idea, isn't it? Because they're not necessarily going to. They say if they just kill her, then she's not much use.
No.
But
if she disbands the troops and resigns in favour of a People's Council, it probably, to be honest, it's still not going to work, really, is it? The Federation's a huge organisation.
And I've written again American or Scottish.
Yeah.
Now, why have I written that?
Because I'm not entirely sure what accent Donald Douglas is doing.
Yeah. Because
sometimes he sounds Scottish, and sometimes he sounds American.
Yeah.
And sometimes he does both in one sentence. So, it's I'm not entirely sure of what he was. I'm not entirely sure he knew what he was doing.
More flashbacks of Anna Grant.
Yes.
This time we're sort of Dalek eye
in a
viewpoint,
cell,
isn't it?
In a cell, yeah.
Because it is all this sort of wobbly stuff around the edge of it. It's a bit like the Dalek viewpoint in Death of the Daleks, where they've got a sort of silver thing around the camera lens. Villa has got an enormous flagon of green, hasn't he?
Yes.
And it looks a bit hazy.
Yeah, it looks alright in the flask, but when he pours it into the glass, it's a bit hazy.
I wonder if it's gone off a bit.
Possibly. It's been under the lights too long.
Because, I always have this thing that I don't trust drinks you can't see through, which is why I don't drink Guinness. Cider, I'm all right with scrumpy that's a bit hazy, because I had some the other day that was Old Rosie, and that's meant to be hazy. But I'm not sure green is meant to be that sort of.
I imagine it's water with food colouring in.
Yeah, in which case it shouldn't
started
be.
to separate a little bit.
I don't know.
So, it probably don't taste very nice.
Then they all teleport down and have a bit of a fight with some guards.
Yeah.
And I've just put off Tarrant. Now, why have I written that? Because I got cross with Tarrant at this point.
Yes.
What does he do? Go on, do it.
He distracts the guard.
Yeah.
And then Avon and Callie and Dana
beat them up,
knock them out. And he goes like that.
It's sort of
not quite so close to the camera.
No, it's more sort of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like wibbling his hand around and barring.
He's being a bit of a cock, but I quite like Tarrant.
Okay, right. Okay. Now, Servalan's been chained up to the wall. But I got distracted not by the chains, but indeed by Jackie's costume, but by the vast racks of wine that are in this cellar. And I'm wondering, where does all the wine in the Federation come from? is there a planet Venus or something like that, which is the Federation wine planet?
Yeah. Who would live on planet Venus though? Would it be the Venovians?
They're a race that have got 8 feet.
Yes.
So
Stamp the wine.
they're really good at stamping wine. Yeah. So I've just gone into Terry Nation mode there on the planet Venus. But yeah, Servalan she's been beaten up because she's got a bit of bruising.
They smack. She gives her one of the male rebels gives her a smack, but she's got a bit of bruising here as well.
Yeah. So something's been going.
Yes.
Now I knew the scene was coming, and I really enjoyed Blake 7, but. Sort of having seen Paul Darrow and Jackie, in real life a few times, I did wonder whether I could take this scene seriously or not. Because Paul especially makes me grin when he does some of his overacting stuff. Jackie doesn't do it so much.
No.
But here I think they're playing it really for real.
Yeah, really straight. I mean, I like the thing about because she says about the wall she's changed to, it's an old wall, it waits.
Well, that's the quote that everybody uses, and in fact when we said we were going to do this, that was what was quoted back at us. Yeah, but
I really like that, and I think it does wobble slightly, doesn't it?
It probably does, yeah,
because it's just a piece of scenery with it's probably that wallpaper you could get that was bricks.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But yes, can't read that. What's that? Done in... What does that say?
I don't know. You're writing.
Meeting done in sound only. Yeah, they're having a meeting to persuade the men
not to kill Servalan.
And I like the fact that it's because this is Chris Boucher. He really knows what you can afford and can't afford.
Yeah, and you can't afford a
big meeting.
Yeah.
So all you hear is a sort of a bit of speechifying and a bit of from a load of voices of people who are not actually there.
Yes.
And that's a real script editor trick. That is. I like that. But she's Anna. Really amazing, isn't it?
It is.
And the Milk Book does point out that Anna and Avon were extremely close, or so we're told. She was perhaps the only woman that Avon ever really loved.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she call him by his first name? She only ever calls him Avon.
Maybe it's like Morse. Well, people in Morse.
You don't go around calling me Trowbridge.
I know, but perhaps she doesn't like his first. Perhaps he doesn't like being called Kerr.
Why?
Because it's a bit of a stupid name. It's like Morse. Morse's Christian name is Endeavour.
Yeah.
And nobody calls him Endeavour because it's a freaking stupid name.
Right, okay.
So they call him Morse. He likes to be called Morse. Perhaps he turns him on. I don't know.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know.
Perhaps it's the way she says it. Avon.
Do it in the camera.
No. All right, carry on. Come on.
That was me being sultry.
Really?
Can't you tell?
No. Okay. So anyway, basically, what happens is if you and
I
again,
was distracting you.
Yes, sure. Spoiler alert. Not in this episode. He suspects her of being Bartholomew, which is, I suppose, a fairly obvious thing.
Yeah.
And she goes to shoot him, so he shoots her first.
Yeah, and then everybody gets teleported up by Villa apart from Avon.
Yes, because he's taken his bracelet off.
Yeah.
And Servalan holds a gun against his head and makes him put the bracelet on and tells him to ask to be teleported and she's going to kill him.
Yeah.
But at that moment, whether she can't kill him, I mean, she does get distracted by one of the other rebels.
Yeah.
But whether she wouldn't actually have killed him anyway, it's just an idle threat. Because Avon and Servalan do this to each other a lot in this season and they never kill each other. They always, so...
Yeah.
So he gets teleported back.
Yes,
and he does the line that is the episode of the titles. Rumours of my death are greatly exaggerated.
Well, slightly.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
Yeah.
But very solid episode, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it always features, when people do season polls of Blake 7 because it is very very sort of charactery, isn't it?
It's a good Avon episode.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's. It did actually fly by. I felt it, I did wonder whether I was sort of going to be tapping my watch, but no, this one really got a shift on, because I mean it's not really an action
No.
adventure
There's a bit of
thing,
action
is
in
it?
there,
There's
so,
a few sort of fighty bits, but yeah,
So-
it's all about Avon's sort of character and history,
Mm.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that Chris Boucher has to write. You couldn't sort of give it out to somebody else. I think.
No.
That,
It's got to
you
be
know,
somebody who knows the character fairly well.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Milkbook says
Excuse
that,
me.
that the
Sorry.
two guard stuff is a bit Robert Holmesy as well.
Yeah, it is.
They've got
The sort of little double act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris Boucher is very good at doing
Mm.
that sort of stuff as well,
Yeah.
isn't he? So, yeah, you've got some, and again, you've got a load of characters to introduce
Yeah, and get rid of.
and get rid of
Yeah.
in 50 minutes, and that can be quite a hard thing,
Yeah.
especially when you've got what is now quite a well-established crew, isn't
Yes.
it? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, I know we've had some changes at the start of the third season, but you know, everybody's got something to do, I guess. The only the only character that isn't in is Zen, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
clearly we can't build the control room set as well.
No.
Yeah. So
No.
you know, it's just
Only have one.
Aurak on his little Aurak stand.
Yes.
And
Being grumpy.
being a grumpy sod. But there you go. So solid, good episode.
Yes.
Just briefly, as we said, it was the Monday, the 25th of February, 1980. Other things on that day. Where are we? Touche Turtle, Jack and Ori, The Robbers, Hey, It's the King. Okay. John Craven's News Round, Blue Peter, Simon Groom, Chris Wenner, Tina Heath, producer Reddy Rye. Book 16 is available from bookshops for £1.50. The Perishers, just before the news. Nationwide, Olympic Grandstand, that can off. Blake 7, Panorama, 9 o'clock news, Monday film The Spiral Staircase. Film 80 with Barry Norman. For me, Blake 7's
The best thing
the
in the
highlight
day.
of that
Yeah.
BBC One schedule. Let's just have a look at BBC Two very briefly. There is one thing that jumped out at me when I looked. Dealey Smith's cookery course. Charlie Brown. Did you used to like Charlie Brown? Or
Not
not
really,
bothered.
no.
Charlie Brown's All Stars. James Burke's Connections at 6:05. The Long Chain. James Burke takes a look at 2,000 years of human ingenuity. Today he asks, what is the connection between Lloyd's of London and the Glasgow Gasworks, or between the invention of the gin and tonic, more drinks from James Burke, and nylon stockings, and how does that connection mould the shape of your life? I'll go and have a look in a minute. Training Dogs the Woodhouse Way. Evening News, Rock Goes to College, An Evening with Anthony Newley. Yeah. And 9 o'clock on BBC Two, Yes Minister. New series starring Paul Eddington. I said Eddington. Eddington. Nigel Hawthorne in Open Government.
All right, first episode.
So,
With the wrong music.
well, I don't know, because on what was it, on the video releases of Yes Minister, Open Government had the proper theme music, but on the
Alright.
DVD release
It's got the original.
it's got
music.
the music, which is very wrong.
Yeah.
And the quite poor drawings as well,
Yes.
which look like nothing like
No.
who they're
It's
supposed
supposed
to.
to be, no.
So I'd be interested to know whether that was actually the version shown. But then Horizon was on after that as well. So there we go. And Russian Language and People and Newsnight. So yeah, of all that, Blake 7, Yes Minister, and Connections
Yeah.
are the things that really stand out for
Yeah.
me. And that's not bad. That's 3 pretty decent things in one night. So
For Monday night, that's not too bad.
all of which we've got.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's nice. That just looking at that, there's nothing in that listing that I haven't got that I'd quite like to watch. So there you go. Blake 7.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye.